You don't think tonight's Sens game is important? Adam on the Gabriel Pizza text line. If the Sens lose to Buffalo with no Brady Tkachuk,
No.
then November/Sensvember has already started. That's from Adam.
No.
Normally, the Sens season goes to die in the month of November. That has been the history here. Adam is suggesting a loss tonight, and we might as well declare this the month of November started. That's Adam.
So that tells me with a loss tonight, you're just pretty much the season's over.
The
Is
month
that what we're
of
saying?
November has told the tale of the tape for many Sens seasons, especially the 7 seasons they missed the playoffs. That's all the point. That's only the point he's making. He's not saying the season is lost.
What was the November last year? I don't remember them being in a playoff spot last year and them having this red-hot month in November.
They didn't play themselves out of it. That's the point.
They did.
Yeah.
They didn't have the typical November last year.
They weren't 3-12.
You can keep this team 500 with Brady out and be sitting just fine. Now, it might not be your second place in the Atlantic that you may have predicted heading into this season, but you're going to be fine in terms of fighting for a playoff spot.
Well, here's the thing, right? Brady Tkachuk's the captain. He's a very important player. It's a team sport. If one player missing, and it looks like at least some significant to very significant time, we'll see what that brings here. Maybe later today we'll get an update on that. If that torpedoes your season, then you've built your team incorrectly. And your coaching staff's not doing a good enough job. It's on everybody.
That's right.
It's on everybody.
It's too fragile.
I mean, Bo Bichette hasn't played for the Jays, and they're in the League Championship Series.
They haven't crumbled.
Was leading the American League in hits at that point. Have they fallen apart? No. Now they're in a bad spot right now? Yep. They're one of the last 4 teams standing. It's a long season.
We don't accept
There's going to be injuries. You got to suck it up.
We don't accept it's on everybody. We must put the target and spotlight on one thing. That is our TSN 1200 Tool and Equipment Store web poll question for you. Online at tsn1200.ca. Who has the most pressure on them now after the Brady Tkachuk injury? Who's facing the most pressure with the Sens? Is it A, Steve Staios, general manager? Is it B, the coaching staff? Find some answers. Is it C, Tim Stützle? Is it D, every other forward? Staios, coaching staff, Stützle, all the other forwards. Steve Lloyd.
Coaching staff, you got to make the pieces fit differently. You've got to figure it out. You have a lot of good players on this team. Removing one of your best players, but one of your good players, it's not ideal. Teams go through this in all sports. Coaching staff.
The team isn't built on one player, so this team should not be done with Brady Tkachuk's injury for however long that is. So all that pressure should not be going on to one player, and that one player being Tim Stützle. This is the entire forward unit here. The pressure is on them as a whole to play appropriately, to play to their strengths, to play to their system, and to get some wins while the captain's out.
So you vote the other forwards? He votes coaching staff. I vote Steve Staios. I think this team was already on the line regarding having enough scoring. Again, early days, 3 games into the season, last 2 games, still not great. Now you've lost your best goal scorer for minimum a month, maybe longer, probably longer than that. Your season my point is this, your season can get euchred. It could be over by the time Brady Tkachuk comes back if you don't put enough W's up. Fair point?
Sure.
By let's say, worst case scenario, this is a 6 to 8 week injury. So now we're talking 1st of December to mid-December. What'd you say, 26 games? If it's 8 weeks?
If it's 8 weeks,
yeah,
we're looking at 26 games missed.
Okay. So
that's a big if. We don't know yet.
Okay. That's a third of the season. If you don't win a fair number of, like we all know the stat, right? End of November, if you're not in a playoff spot, or what, 4 points out? Isn't that Elliot Friedman that has that stat? You don't make the playoffs if you're more than 4 points out at the end of November. So the Sens, and this is best case Brady Tkachuk coming back from injury scenario, is that he's back by the end of November. That's about a month from now. You're more than 4 points out. If you've fallen out of it because you've lost your captain, you've lost your leading goal scorer, you haven't been able to find enough goals, I think they got to find some more. I thought they needed some more goals even before Brady Tkachuk got hurt, let alone now. So I think it's on Steve Stamkos. I think you got to take that $3 million you've got in your piggy bank, and I think you got to spend it.
All right. If you're going down that road, let me ask you this. If Brady's going to, let's say he's going to miss 6 to 8 weeks. Well, you're certainly eligible to go on LTIR. Would you call up some more players, manipulate your roster as best you could to get tighter to the cap, then put them on LTIR, get that extra money, and then you can go get that player, and then you kind of kick that can down the road in terms of what you're going to have to do with your roster? Like, how aggressive? My question is, how aggressive do you get? If you think you really need to go get a player, because if those players aren't just hanging out there for free, you're going to have to spend assets to bring that player, and that player you're talking about makes money.
Yep.
That's not an entry-level salary type player.
But the scenario you pointed, the kicking the can down the road, accumulating all this long-term injured list money. What are we talking now? January? February? Season's over by then. You're not in it by then. You're out.
No, but that my point is, would you maximize your cap space in the very near term and make this transaction quickly?
How much more are you going to be able to do that?
The way it is
in
now,
the short term,
you don't get the full relief of the player returns and he's coming back.
Yep.
So it's 3.8-ish is the average salary, but that you don't get the full Monty on that. It's above. It's how close you are to the ceiling already. So my point would be, would you try to get closer to the ceiling as is before you put? Now we're really getting into the speculation mode. And if you wanted to bring in a player, and then you'd have to, when Brady comes back, TikTok and how you're going to manipulate your roster to get back. But
I'm not waiting 6 weeks.
No, I'm not
waiting for my season to be over.
I'm not saying you have to. I'm saying you if you wanted to get as much money available to you now, you could manipulate things a little bit right now, put them on, and make your trade tomorrow. Then you're not waiting till the end of this.
Here's another wrench in that plan. What are you trading to bring somebody in here? You don't even know if you've got a first-round pick to deal with.
Yeah, well.
I mean, I hate to continue to bring that up, but you've got no idea what that is going.
1,000%, and I'll go back to what I've been saying for the last 2 years. What the hell does Gary Bettman need to hear from the Sens or Michael Andlauer to make a final decision? What is that stupid word he used the last time he was asked? I'm not inclined.
Yeah.
I'm not inclined to change my mind. How about a yes or no there, Gare? How about giving us a definitive answer on that? None of this mamby-pamby shades of gray BS. Are you going to let the Sens keep the pick or move it to the end of the first round or not? I'm not inclined. What hot garbage is that?
So what else do you have to trade? There's not. Are you going to trade Yakimchuk because of Brady Tkachuk's injury?
No, but there's you could package some stuff. You got a Buffalo Sabres team that's desperate right now. I'm not saying that you're going to get the equivalent of Brady Tkachuk.
No, I understand that. Yes.
But you have to, and you hope that your pro scouts have identified a player or players that potentially could score you, that you needed to add anyway, in my opinion. Whoever those players were, now move from, yeah, maybe to, yeah, do it. You need to. Whoever those players are, these magic players that I'm finding.
You thought maybe last year that was the acquisition of Fabian Zetterlund, that you thought maybe you had somebody that could get into the top six and have an impact and make a difference and score some goals. You really need to see that now. The door's wide open for him right now to have some sort of impact on this team.
Anyway, I don't think there's an immediate, right now, need for this. We are only 3 games into the season.
Well, how long do you give
Let's see how it shakes out. You are getting a big-time point producer back tonight in Drake Batherson's coming into your lineup. How's the configuration going to look? But it does get late early. If this team continues to struggle like they did last season with 5-on-5 goals, I totally agree with you. I think that they were probably thinking about making a move anyway at some point to shake it up. if that trend continued.
That
because
moves from
because
back
they heavily
burner to front burner.
they heavily relied on their power play for their offense last season. And that's great. You know, it's important to have a good power play. But it was already a concern, and now you've taken a very big piece out of your lineup that can provide offense, and he provides so many other things.